Hi guys, it's me, Joseph again, and for this video that I will be dedicated to the Avatar Lost Airbender vlogs, I shall be covering chapter 20 of book 1 of this wonderful show. Now this happens to be the last episode in the season at number 20, called The Siege of the North Part 2. And as you can tell, this is squarely in the water category of the Avatar cycle. But there are some very strong hints as to the red part, the fire part. And I'll get to those when I get to them. But for right now, the war is still going on between the Fire Nation and the Northern Water Tribe. And apparently the Fire Nation was unhappy with Santa Claus gave him for Christmas, and they want to invade his workshop in the North Pole to get better goods. It ain't gonna work so good because Santa Claus doesn't really bargain too well, especially when you're trying to ram fireballs down his throat. But in any case, this is a real cool episode. It's very simple, with some very good philosophical things in it for little kids, which I like, and I like to also put in my Christian mentality in it too, because that's kind of where I can make sense of some of the principles in the show. Anyway, this follows like a bunch of different types of areas, different spots in the conflict. So I'm gonna try my best to try to weave everything together, not as good as you do in the show. So anyway, the Fire Nation is still trying to wreak havoc on the War Nation, and General Zhao has a plan for it, taking care of them, and he foreshadows a future episode where they make reference to a library that is underground. That'll come in, I think it's called the Great Library, for a very advanced name for an episode. So we'll look forward to that. But for right now, we gotta worry about Aang and the others, because Aang got himself in trouble with Prince Zuzu, in which Zuko took his body away from him, and it's taking him away to appease his father, Fire Lord Ozai, of course. And then we also get some information about his other family in it. We know about Iroh, we know about Zuko and his father, but we don't know that much about his sister. And he said that his sister is more of a rotten little bitch in comparison to himself. Like, she's pure evil, whereas he's trying to get on her back. So, he said that he was his pride and joy, his sister in the family, his dead little girl, last. And, she was like a prodigy, and real powerful too, and stuff like that. And she was born lucky I was lucky to be born because he's more sympathetic. He's more what's wrong for he's more empathetic. He's more he's got more heart than his sister does. Because the sister's very sadistic, as we will see in future episodes. But in any case, they show off that that he's taking the bite of Aang away, and that there are like earthquakes, no doubt because of the fire can do what they're doing, and he has to run carrying the Avatar around, and then they go into a little cave area, a little natural cave where they rest. Well, actually, Zuko rests, and it's still meditating and sleeping and stuff, but whatever you call. So he's resting, and then they cut to his meditative state and himself in the spirit world. Now this is actually very fascinating because we all look at the spirit world again, but this time it's more of a swamp area, and no one to drain it. And then he comes across a spiritual monkey, which is quite rude, quite nasty to Aang. But don't worry, Hi-Bye takes care of him. Remember when I mentioned him in the first part of the thing? Well, in the second part, I guess he comes back like a spiritual protector and friend of his. So anyway, he's gonna go find Ko, the faith stealer. And my God, you can take any character from Avatar, from Legend of Korra. You can take any bad guy from this show, Ozai and Azula and all that stuff. They won't be half as scary to mine. Won't be half as scary as Ko the Face Stealer. My God, this guy is creepy, and I love it. I love that they were actually involved this character in the Nickelodeon show, nonetheless, for little kids, because he's basically a centipede monster, but the Avatar universe, so it's really big and scary, but it also steals your face if you catch you. Show any type of emotions, basically fear, joy, anger, sadness, whatever else. You can think of love, whatever. And Ko is very, very old. He's more ancient than the moon and the ocean spirits. Well, I don't know how that works out because I think that Ko is supposed to be like older than them, so they're pretty old by themselves, being the first waterbenders and whatnot. So I would think that they'd be like primordial beings. I don't care how Ko could be older than they are, but what I know. And from what I know of, I don't think Ko is actually a mythological creature by itself. I think he just made it up for this show, much like Hi-Bye and some of the others too. So that was a very good idea. Besides being a centipede or a millipede monster, they show him actually be able to change the face on his like his headpiece there to match whatever he's thinking of. So there's a part in there where he's actually like going through rapid fire face changing abilities and stuff. He cheated that Zhao at one point. So I don't know how that comes out. Zhao is not dead. He hasn't had his face stolen. I don't know how that works out. But this whole thing kind of remind me a little bit of the the T-1000 from the movie Terminator 2, in which the Terminator can imitate any piece or any type of body structure of whatever it comes into contact with. And at the end of the movie, they show him going into the molten pool of molten metal and dying for the most part, for lack of a bad term. So they show it like a morphing into whatever face they can to try to get out of the situation. So it reminded me of that. Real horrific monster there. And it also reminded me a little bit of a face hugger a little bit. Because not only does it take human face and human emotions, but also takes the innocent animals out there. They killed one monkey that his face was torn on the way, so able to live and breathe and stuff like that, but whatever. So, it reminded me a little bit of a face hugger. Plus the fact that I go into a real dark, creepy place under a big tree. It remind me of the Sleepy Hollow, or the movie Pan's Labyrinth, in which the princess had caught her hands and knees to go under the tree to go this giant toad or whatever it was. So it reminded me of an amalgamation of creatures and things. Plus to add more shock value to it, they show that the code actually morphs into one of the previous avatar lovers. I think it's Kruk. Anyway, lost water master in the cycle. So basically, I think it's 3 before Aang. So there was Rogu, and there was Yoshi, and there was Kruk. So that makes 3 altogether. And the airbender before him, I don't know what her name was. So it would actually be pretty cool to see that. And it almost flips a little bit too, in that he almost does joy and emotion when he says, oh, the fish. When he finds out where they were located. Turns out the fish were actually moon spirits in the koi pond anyway. So basically, we start to meditate. They were those 2 fish. And Ko actually turns it back to Aang once, and then when he finds out the joy of it, I'll find out the answer. Ko turns around and tries to steal his face from him, which is kind of weird because that's kind of like your personality and your identity. So if you try to steal my face, you'll steal my identity and you'll steal my good looks for that matter. But it's kind of scary to see a real identity and the weird thing is that he never dies in the end of the show. After Angela was like at the core deal with her enemies and her bosses and whatever, and you see that Cole never is on the winning end of justice. So everyone he steals the face of will always be in his possession, I guess. The souls, the people he stole the face of. So that's kind of scary if you think about it. Now, to my knowledge, there's a little comic book that goes with the whole code thing, karate code thing. So I don't own the comic book, but but be interested to know how the diet is really based in some of its captives are released. That'd be something nice to know about, because he really is a real unsettling creature. So anyway, when Aang gets out of the tree fort, he goes to see about getting back to the spirit world, to the physical world. I mean, so then you see that Hi-Bye helps him out, but he shoots some beam out of his mouth, and it's funny because a little monkey beforehand that was rude to Aang said, "Good riddance, I mean with too noisy anyway." So then Hi-Bye shoots him with a nice hyper beam attack and shuts him up for good. Now I don't know if that was murder or if that was just he was transported to some other spiritual realm of existence, but that was so pretty funny. So anyway, Aang goes back and he can't find the Momo. He can't touch Momo because it's still a spirit. So he goes to find his body, finds the body next to the zoo, and then he tried to escape from Zuko, and Zuko isn't gonna have it because he's gonna take his prize with him to the Big Daddy. So in the meantime, Katara, Sokka, and Yue try to hunt him down, saying that, even though he's still a bad guy, Zuko is still persistent, so more than likely they're gonna be alive still. And that kind of thing. So they finally made it in the snow after Zuko tried to capture Aang again from escape, and he ends up being defeated by Appa and his big tail, I think. So he said, you can't just leave him there because the plot demands that he's still alive to teach Aang firebending, and so it's a little bit, Sokka doesn't like it very much, and he tied up. So then they show him, they show a whole party Appa going back to the corn pond, the warm spiritual corn pond with everybody. So General Zhao or Admiral Zhao ends up coming up with an idea, because in the library he found some text with the insignia for the symbol for moon and water, moon and ocean, I mean. So he figured that if he killed the spirit for the moon, it will disrupt all waterbending's powers only. And even though Iroh states it won't just take away the power of the moon, the waterbenders, it'll mess up the entire world, and you have to have balance. It's just a very good point, because we've seen that this show does do a lot of the balance is important in nature. It's not like Dragon Ball Z, in which the moon disappears, everything all hunky-dory and everything's fine and dandy and all that. No natural disasters, no droughts, no end to tides, no problem whatsoever with the moon just being blown to pieces. So they address that part in this show, which I'm happy for. That there are some consequences to disrupting nature's balance. And I was very defensive about it. He said that because if Zelda and the moon spirit that who give him 10 times that much in physical pain for himself. But Zelda won't listen and he puts he snatches up the fish and then he lifts the eyebrow and the moon becomes redder than like a blood moon. But this is a very bad moon. This is a very bad sign. That's some freak nature type phenomena. You know, something that almost and then goes away. This is actually a very bad sign for the moon, for the waterbenders, because everything that they do disappears. All their waterbending strength goes away, goes bye-bye. So it's really weird that everybody does that whenever they see a bad moon on the rise, a red moon on the rise, which I'm sure probably means something to some sailors, something like that, red moon, red light or something like that. So anyway, he lifts him out the bag, and then he thinks that he makes him like everything is fine and good and everything copacetic until he ends up launching a giant fireball at one of the fish spirits, which happens to be the moon spirit, making the moon disappear altogether. But wouldn't it be real hilarious? Ain't really hilarious if instead of the moon spirit and disappearing something like that, if it happened to be the black one and it happened to be the ocean spirit, he would probably make all the water in the world disappear. The opposite of what happened during God of War 3 when Kratos killed Poseidon. That would be really something. Can you imagine the entire world ocean's going dry as a bone? And another thing too, you know, he could just wait for daybreak again, and then come down on the water try to be even harder. And he didn't have to destroy the moon, but because he wanted to get fame and in the history books and whatnot, he had to destroy the moon altogether. Plus, I'm surprised that no one ever said, "Ooh, fish fry." I love fish fry. I'll take mine with soggy and some, maybe a little bit of bread too on the side. But anyway, like I was saying about the Christian ideology in this. They say that the moon and the ocean spirit were so humble that they ended up turning themselves into fish, gave up their immortality to become common everyday fish. Why they become fish, I have no idea. Why they become such a big creature, I have no idea. But I could think of it like this. God is all powerful, right? You know, the Christian, Jewish, Islam, Muslim God is all the same. So he's all powerful. So to humble himself, he made himself into a cute little baby Jesus that sacrificed himself in the most glorious way during when he became 33. But he was born in a very humble manger of that point how the story goes. But that could also be like this too, that the gods and the moon spirit and the ocean spirit were so humble and so high and mighty and so humble that they ended up down to beach level fish. I don't know why they picked regular fish. Why could they pick something a little more meaty like a octopus or like a shark or something, like or something a little more defensive capabilities other than a fish, maybe a shrimp or something that tasted good at least. So let me say about Laura. He ends up killing the moon spirit, making the moon spirit disappear and stuff. I guess it went that wide that make us so humble and make us so into fish. You know, if I were to turn into fish like the Incredible Miss Limpet, it's a movie from God knows when. But if I were to do that, I would at least give myself some kind of mystical protection against whatever fire bending, earth bending, air bending, water bending, whatever. I would give myself some kind of shield for that to make sure that nothing does happen. Especially being surrounded by water, a fireball shouldn't be able to do that much to you. Unless we're backed up by the power of the sun, or say, power of the comet. You know, that may be possible to get around. So anyway, I will use Aquabric on myself. That was the case. An old Pokemon move. Aquabric to heal myself. So anyway, they do that. I will get pissed off. And to Shyamalan's credit, they do that. They do that well. I will. We were pissed off at whoever did that. General Zhao. And they do that. And it chased after him. So in the meantime, what's going on? So that Zuko escaped his bondage, his bonds, and is secretly gonna go after Zab in like weird type of showdown. So then they also showed that Princess Yue was given life because she would think as the one child. Kind of dark for a kid show. Was the issue not breathing, not responding properly. So the parents prayed to the moon spirit, and the moon spirit donates part of its own life cycle, its own life energy, its essence to her to make her hair turn white, to make her into give her new life like Sailor Moon. And he gives it back to the moon spirit for her own life and getting rid of, not becoming engaged anymore, but instead kissing Sokka before she disappears. And so I mentioned the fiance because the fiance is trying to tackle Zab and nothing happens, he just falls out the window. It's very funny. So they say that the moon spirit is dead before she gives the whole life back to the moon spirit and everything becomes well again. But instead, Aang takes on the rest of the moon spirit, the ocean spirit, being pissed off as ever, and becomes a giant kaiju monster, a giant fish monster, if you will, a pot mermaid, but with the fish pot on top. And he goes on a rampage, destroying all the Chinese troops at first, and then take on some tanks. Yeah, there are tanks again from from the mountain episode, from the normal temple episode, as well as weird rhino hybrid creatures with lizards, and they take them out too. And then he goes up to ships in the bay, and he knocks out towers and stuff. Now, it's a cool scene, but it gives reference to when the foreshadowing again for when Katara and Aang end up taking out the drill from when the episode the drill, which drilled some logic today's wall, and it ended up cutting down literally with water bending it against the steel. So I think that's kind of foreshadowing to that part in the episode. But while that's happening, Yui gives the water spirit back to himself. Back to the water spirit fish. The moon comes back, and Zhao's like, oh my god, it can't be. No, they're getting the power boost back. So then they beat back the waterbender troops, beat back the invaders, and still has a fish monster kaiju thing there. Get more of a power boost from the moon and become even more powerful and destroy ships and whatnot over there. He wrecked shit. So then he's like all powerful and stuff. What do you do? He gives power, and then the world becomes a sentient once again without the influence of Aang. So while that happened, Zuko and Zhao are over there fighting on top of an ice bridge. And it's really cool, but it's really cool and stuff. Almost like an Aang type, which will run later on like a duel of the fate. So it's really funny because sounds like I should kill you when I had a chance and stuff. You with the blue spirit. I tried to kill you and stuff. And Zuko's like, try to kill me. I was the blue spirit, blah blah blah, and this and that. So Zhao called him a traitor and stuff. So I want to kill you and stuff. And then right as it's supposed to do so, a hand of water reaches above and it collapses and gets Zhao. And meanwhile, Zuko rolls out of the way. Turns out that it's the ocean spirit. But it wasn't too wise of Zhao to actually kill the ocean spirit's partner, only to be resurrected again. So the sentient water, like this time, is gonna drag Zhao underwater. Zuko, being somewhat good at this point, tried to help out his teammate, because they're still on the same side, the Fire Nation. So he tried to help him out, and Zhao, as a badass, says, nope, I refuse your hand, die with honor. Because I'm a badass, so I want to die with honor. I don't need none of this pussy love and affection and all this other stuff. You go, little boy, and gets dragged to death. Like a true monster, like a true bad guy and a true monster. It's full by the power of goodness. Now also, Zuko and Iroh end up taking this and running away, retreating, because they know that the Fire Nation want him dead. They want him hanged, they want him destroyed. Both people, because they're traitors, their own country, whatever. So, anyway, they choose Aang as as they go into the avatar state, they realize that he's exhausted. He hasn't fully controlled the avatar state yet, and it goes on at random. And to fully master the avatar state, he's got to do intense training for that. Among new water bending, learning earth bending, fire bending, and all the other stuff too. So you gotta learn that too, how to control that. Because you can't do it willy-nilly. In the next episode, they cover that. So good try to trigger it by force. So anyway, I like this episode because it also shows the bond between Zuko and Iroh again. It should bond up the soul tongue of everybody. So the fighting as a bunch of can be mostly militaristic, but it can be friendly and stuff like that. Non-military personnel and things like that. And that looks to be well there. And can transform into giant monsters if he wishes. And you would think that they would try this type of thing, taking over the North Pole. Over the course of 100 years, they would do at least at some point between then and now, you know. Not just when the Avatar is there. You know, there's plenty of days they could do it. There's plenty of days when they don't do it. At night they can't do it. But in the daybreak they can do it easily. Most of when systems kind of come into play. But there's also there's also where what's the name Pagu said to the others that he wanted to go to Southern Tribe and build the defenses and build the waterbending army there too. And probably a secret ring too. So Qatar probably even a reference point for that. And let's see what else was there. He wants to, you know, and didn't learn all he can from waterbending from him and become a giant kaiju, you know, water-based kaiju. And so Paco said that he should learn from Qatar. Qatar is a prodigy at waterbending. So she's awesome, and he meant that she's great for that. So yeah, I like his humility because he was saying, "Ooh, girls can't do this. Girls can only do nursing and killing and stuff like that." But now he's more humble, more rough. You know, girls can take it as much as boys can, more so now. And we have no idea what happened to the fiance. It's presumed that the guy survived and married some other person who was more tolerant of his jackassery. So I was happy too that he now get the spirit of a girl and liked it. The teacher of the cherry chapstick. Let's see about the I like the fact that they showed Iroh in his non-combatant robes, you know, in his casual Fire Nation wear. That one nice too. Let's see what else there. Yeah, that's it. I love color feature. I love the design. Remember aliens, and the T-1000. I like the creepiest thing in this show so far, or ever. And then there's a hi bye, come back from work. And then there's even though later on we'll find out that there's no real animal spirits or like weird jumbled creature type, like more something more exaggerated than regular creatures are. But yeah, this is a great conclusion to this wonderful book or season, and I love it. I'm so happy that I'm done with season 1. So yeah, ta-da. The show is excellent and both incorporating CGI into two-dimensional drawings and the fact that the animation style, the animated style, obviously, and I love the Avatar state. I love everything there to be about this show. Its philosophies are awesome. Teaching little kids about philosophies and Eastern culture and Eastern religion is really nice. Plus, that monkey that was hanging in the beginning when I was imagining the one of go, I could swear that distinctive Indian accent, which might be an indicator of a future character, the guru that tried to change the goal of earthly desires. I don't know that for sure about the boy here. So, yeah, I like this show. And thank you for watching all 20 episodes of Book 1. The 20th episode was called The Siege of the North Part 2. And it was really good. And as such, I give this masterpiece seal of approval because it was just awesome. Plus, you get some good changes in Zuko and Iroh. I mean that now they're all lame from the financial authorities and armies and such. I should love this joke. And now I gotta find green stuff to match my wardrobe. Okay, next topic deals with the green earth region. So if you guys like what you see here, and you want to see more of my videos and such, you always like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. You can also comment or text me for any type of future input on my stuff. My number is 631-707-3707. And something else there. You can also follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer at P Milton Pro. Also, can get me on my email at jjsviewchannel@gmail.com. So, peace out, my brothers and sisters. I salute all you guys and girls who like all kind of animation styles, anime inspired movies and cartoons like Teen Titans, Madeline and stuff like that. And of course, Avatar, Black Airbender, as well as Korra, The Legend of Korra. So, sayonara, arrivederci to all you girls and guys in the land. I'll see you in the next video. Aloha.